Jones expanded them to go up to 40 minutes.
Doing very well. So they use that term.
All of those things in education, of course, those things are important.
Is going to our heads and our lungs.
The affirmations in the mirror for about 2 minutes.
They make all sorts of mistakes. Without that,
this is amazing.
and doing new things for our brain.
Normal, in a sense, with all of the changes.
Which parts of the brain are used?
Them get out of their own way and understanding automatic patterns and
based on that map that we have.
There's neural connections that, mindfulness is a part of life.
Hi, Frog, how do you do? Yes, I'd like.
So if they are, just keep it aside. Your work, keep it.
Good emotions.
How to use their observations to inform assessments.
Regulation in their nervous system.
With your smiling.
Atul, thank you very much for allowing me to join you. Namaste to you, my friends.
Hi. Hello, everyone. This is my friend Thomas. Say hi, Thomas.
Hello.
This is such a special spotlight talk for me. There are so many things to say about Thomas that if I said them all, we would leave no time for him and discussion. So I've tried to cut it down as best as I could. After Thomas graduated from high school, he attended Johnson Smith University as a music major. And senior year, he transferred to Manhattan School of Music. Wow, that's a school that'd be like my dream school. And there he performed many operatic roles and directed a jazz group of singers, which was a tribute to Duke Ellington, which got a lot of recognition. His voice is so beautiful and strong, and I love hearing him sing, but he's also very accomplished on the saxophone. He taught piano, voice, woodwind, strings, percussion at the Community School of the Arts, where he lives, and he hosted a children's music show. He continued making a big difference in his community, and in 1985, he entered Indiana State University, where he earned his master's and PhD in education, early childhood. And there he had a professor that was also my professor when I earned my master's, Jan McCarthy, who we both have very fond memories of working with her. She's influenced both of us. She always used to say to me, Marian, you need to meet Thomas. And I'm so glad that I did. He's produced 12 educational recordings, co-authored 3 teacher resource books, authored 5 books for young children, and he's a contributing editor to DLM, Early Childhood Curriculum, produced by McGraw-Hill, and Early Impressions Curriculum for Infant Toddlers by Griffin House. His awards and recognition include Charlotte's JC's Young Man of the Year, North Carolina Order of the Longleaf Pine, my goodness, Rotary International Service Citation, and the Indiana State University Distinguished Alumni. His most treasured award, though, is Angel Among Us, given by a K through 2nd grade class in Laurinburg, North Carolina. Maybe you'll tell us about that in a bit. I am honored that Thomas played saxophone and sang with me on a song called The Best Friend Boogie. And I'm going to give it away as a free download after we finish this show. So all of you can have a little gift from me and Thomas and play it and remember us. So there's more about more, but let's not take any more time and let's let him speak. I'm sure he will include some of his other accomplishments in that. So Thomas, it's your turn. Share with us how you came upon this path and how that led you into working with music with children. I'm just seeing somebody else that just put up a message that they worked with Dr. McCarthy too, but I don't know who it is because I can't see the name, but we need to find that out.
Yes. Well, good morning. Good morning. Well, music started out for me with my parents, actually, because, you know, they did a lot of singing when I was a child, and I just saw that as a natural thing. And they didn't just sing by themselves, but they would sing songs that were easy for us to join in, my siblings and I. So I just thought, if you're trying to create community, then you begin with family. And so as I entered this world of music outside of the home, I kept looking for ways to bring that family feeling. And so that's what I think about a lot is like, how can we make music accessible to more people, to people who haven't had those experiences? How do you get them involved? And I think one of the things that happens with the teacher, early childhood teacher, if that person comes upon a child who doesn't have that in the home, then there's an opportunity now to teach the way that music can be used to create community or create safe spaces.
So why do you think music is such an important vehicle for teaching children to love themselves?
Well, I think it is one of those things that children do that says to them, I am special, or this is something I can do. When they have opportunity to sing with their loved ones, there is that expression that you see that on the child's face. I did it. I did it.
Yes.
When I am singing a verse that a child has created in Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, a child may sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Big Star, and I'm singing with the child, and then the child is like, wow, I did that. And there is just events like that. They build on themselves. It helps the child to think about who I am and what I have to offer other people. So some of the self-esteem is not only about how the child is looking at him or herself, but how the child sees him or herself with others as well.
So you mentioned that I am special. And for those that have no idea, haven't been fortunate enough to hear that song of yours, would you mind just singing a little bit and explaining how you use the song?
Okay. It's a call and response song. And what happens is I will sing a line and then you will repeat it after me. And you will in your own way, but what I am doing is giving you the melody and then you respond to it. So here it goes. And just repeat after me. You can sing along. Wherever you are, sing along.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I am special.
I am special.
Just because I'm me.
Just because I'm me.
I am special.
I am special.
I hope that you like me.
I hope that you like me.
I may be tall.
I may be tall.
I may be short.
I may be short.
I am special.
I am special.
I hope that you like me.
I hope that you like me.
I may have long hair.
I may have long hair.
I may have short hair.
I may have short hair.
I am special.
I am special.
I hope that you like me.
I hope that you like me.
I'm special.
I'm special.
I'm special.
I'm special.
I'm special.
I'm special. Oh my gosh, thank you. What a thrill for me. And I hope everyone else was singing along. You can just imagine how the children feel when Thomas sings something like that. And I love how you talked about how you let the children sometimes choose the words. And I imagine that there's been a few times when they've jumped in on some that just made you want to crack up. You know, and other times where you get concerned, like, wow, I'm going to have to give this child some extra attention. And music is such a good vehicle for that. And before this started, we were talking about how important it is to help people find their self-worth, feel good about who they are. And today's kind of a special day with celebrating a man who dedicated his life to helping people get their self-worth, and that's Dr. King. And I would love for you to say a few words about that and how that affected our children.
Well, sometimes you come upon people who you can feel that there's something about that person that you trust. And I think about people like Dr. King, and when I was growing up, when I would be around someone who was a kind person, someone who thought about all people. And I noticed people like Dr. King, when they would be around children, they would go to their knees to allow the child to see their eyes, to be with the child, but they're constantly talking about the whole family, and a lot of what they're doing is opening up their arms to the whole family. And I always saw Dr. King as someone who celebrated children, and thinking of the faith that he had. And as I was growing up, I remember anytime we were around the Christmas season and we were thinking of the baby Jesus, and we were thinking of going to these places where people honored the baby. And I think that what happened is Dr. King was talking about all people and all people coming together. And I think about, as a profession, early educators, we're all coming together to help children. It doesn't matter the background of the child, the religious background, the faith background, or the culture that the child comes from. We need to come together to provide a safe place for children to be children. And when we go to be with children, that's what, the whole thing about it is, the image that I have is of a person like a Martin Luther King, who we value, and we see this person as a great person. But the person goes to be with the child, and immediately the person goes to his or her knees. And so a lot of times when I'm with children and we're playing together and we're singing together, but I am there also to learn what they have to share with me. And I am a more creative person because of children. Because children are not just there to hear me sing, but they want to sing with me, and then they want to sing for me. This one time I was singing an aria from The Marriage of Figaro. This was long before I studied early childhood, but I was visiting a group of 4-year-olds, and I sang an aria from The Marriage of Figaro in Italian. And this one boy at the end started laughing, and he said, "That's funny." And then all the children started laughing. But the child was basically saying to me, "Sir, I do not understand anything that you're singing. I can't do any of what you are doing. You are wasting my time." You do that. But sometimes it is like that we are spending a lot of valuable time when we could be bringing people together. We can give them skills that will help them in coming together. And music is one of those skills that can do that. And that is why I'm thankful for people like Martin Luther King, who, when they would bring people together, they would sing a song. They would provide opportunities for.
We shall overcome.
Yes. And a lot of the songs were repetitive, and a lot of the songs were call and response songs. But it gave people opportunity to come as you are and to be involved in this great thing that we call community.
Yes. Yes. And it's interesting because whenever, like you mentioned, singing in Italian, and whenever you sing in a language other than what children are used to hearing, it does get their attention, and I know some people like to use it as a way to get their attention. There are so many tools with music that can be used for getting children's attention, calming children down, energizing children. It does a whole array of things. But you've talked about how you don't, a lot of times, do not introduce yourself as a musician.
Yeah.
And explain about that.
Well, once a child said to me, Thomas Moore, you're my friend. You're my friend, and so I began to pay attention to what children say to me. I have never heard a child say, Thomas Moore, you're a musician.
Mm.
And so what happens, I come and I bring music with me. But what is most important for the child is this is somebody who I can play with. And this is somebody who I can build some understanding of how I fit in the world. That I'm close to my parents, and now I'm close to Thomas Moore, and all the people that I see at school, I'm close to them too. And so we're about building community. And at some point, when a child hears Dr. Thomas Moore, then the child says, "So, are you going to give me a shot?"
Aww, a shot of love.
Yeah. And so then we have a conversation about early childhood educators can be doctors too. And then I ask, what doctors do you know of? And to get more of an understanding of where the child is coming from, but looking at every opportunity as an opportunity to expand on children's knowledge of who they are and who others are. So we began with paying attention to how the child is thinking about who you are. And so I do music based upon how it was done as a child with me. And I never was thinking they're teaching me music when we were singing together. This is all
good point.
Yeah, I never did get that. And I played 12 instruments, but what happens is, like, if there's opportunity, I play them, but I don't just go out to look around. I don't go looking around town, places where I can go and play music.
That's a good point. It's more about the connection that the music helps establish, but not so much about the music itself.
Yes.
Music is just the vehicle.
Yes.
So what is your greatest joy when you're sitting with the children and sharing this love? Does any particular child come to mind? Is there a story about just knowing a time when you made a difference?
Well, I had an experience a few years ago when I was driving up in the mountains of North Carolina. I was driving to Hot Springs, North Carolina. And I had pulled off and read I read a friend of mine was having a not so good experience with her day. And she was saying, I sure could use a song from Thomas Moore. Thomas Moore, when I was a child, would sing the song Perhaps Love, and I could use that song today because I'm having a bad day. So I sang Perhaps Love, and I posted it. And I think about the fact that this young lady on my 70th birthday sang happy birthday to you in such a way that it just made me smile, but it also made me think about the fact that you never know when children are going to give you what you've been looking for. I have never experienced someone singing to me in the way that she sang to me. And it was just happy birthday to you. But sometimes what happens is when you go to a child and the child puts that in that special place, and that is there forever. And at times the child will give it to you. And I imagine this is constantly happening in the lives of parents as well as caregivers, that every once in a while a child will come to you and sing something to you that you really need to hear. And that's that special thing that we don't even know it's available. But that is special for everybody who works with young children. That at some time, some child is going to give you that thing that you need to know that is available for you. It's a gift that you have never thought that you needed. And I like the idea that it's this person who was so vulnerable at one time. And now we're at a place where we're looking for something special. And that something special is going to be delivered by that somebody who you were the special person for.
That's touching. That's a good story. You know, we all have those children that you don't know when you're making a difference. And that's one of the things when I do my trainings and I say to teachers, you know what, you could have had a flat on your way to work. You could have had a fight with your spouse. You could have spilt your coffee as you were getting out of the car. But when you walk in that classroom, none of that means anything to the children. And you need to put that baggage aside, because who you are in that moment is what the children will take to start their day. And it is so important, you know, and you might just walk in and go, good morning, you know, and what are the children going to do if you do that? They're going to look at you and go, good morning. It's just natural to do that, right?
Yeah.
And I think that some of the things that some of the people listening, and I know they're really listening because a lot of times people start asking a lot of questions, and now people are just posting, wow, or that's really good. And it's like they're really listening to what you have to say. And I think that one of the things that would be helpful is giving them some tools to use some of the techniques that you use. Now, I know that you've worked with some children that, you know, are from some poor communities, as well as children in very affluent communities. But no matter what, children are children. Some children just need more, and some children are always ready to go. But you also worked in Nigeria, and all these different places. Have you not found that no matter where you are, the children are the same? Or have you seen any differences?
I see, no matter where I go, that children recognize who I am. And I remember when I was on a trip to China, a study tour in China, this person who was handling our group got me off by myself to be with the children.
Oh.
And it was a special thing, because what I did is I went to the keyboard and I played If You're Happy and You Know It, did not sing it. And I would do da 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 da, woo woo, and the children started doing it with me, and had these different movements, but did not sing. because I didn't want to use language, because language would cause a problem. We wouldn't be able to play as much because they would be working on trying to figure out what I was singing. And the same thing when I was in Denmark or in Germany. It's the same thing, Nigeria. No matter where I am thinking in terms of let's play together. And if we can use music, we use music. But I think, again, from my looking and watching what's going on, I have come to the place where I believe that children are here to teach us. And when you get to that place where you think that, where you get that, then you get a lot more excited about being around children. I've got skills, but I've got more skills because of the children in my life. And the more I open my heart, that's another piece of it. That is, your heart is so important. Your heart helps you to hang in there because they will challenge you in ways that you've never been challenged before. So this whole thing about love is big. It is for real when you're working with children. Love makes sense when you're working with children. Now, we don't think that much about love when we're working with older children, adults, but we should always be reminded of what the children are teaching us. And I would say this about my teachers, including Dr. McCarthy. I had this feeling that this teacher loved me, my teacher in grad school. She loved me. My voice teacher in New York City, my saxophone teacher back in North Carolina. All these people, I saw them as loving people. And because they were loving people, then the hard stuff that I had to do was easier because they would not harm me if I didn't do it right. So if I'm singing a song that needs a lot of work, this person isn't going to make me feel bad about what I am doing. This person is going to gently help me to do what it is that I set out to do. Love is important.
Very important. That's some powerful stuff there. If for the people that are listening, the teachers, sharing some more techniques, like for example, many of us have our Dr. Thomas More Humpty Dumpty shirts, and everybody would think that's such a simple song. A lot of people try to get too complicated with children. And, like I have a song about 5 fingers in my pocket. It is just, I have 5 fingers in my pocket. Oh no, one went away. I have 4 fingers. It is the easiest thing, yet the children just hold on to it because they can be successful. There's no trick to it. And they feel good about themselves, and it builds confidence. And that's what a lot of your music does. I think that there are some teachers that do not understand the complexity behind the simplicity. So we were talking before a little bit about the Humpty Dumpty dance. And for those that don't know, Thomas More does this thing with the Humpty Dumpty, and the kids just have to dance along and keep singing with him. But I'm going to ask you to explain a little bit more, because I think that is a tool that some teachers that are watching could take that and use it tomorrow when they are working with the kids. I learned this in this spotlight class. I learned a song about I Am Special, and I learned how to do the Humpty Dumpty. And that is going to maybe change my world and these children for today, because we're going to connect.
Well, first of all, you have to make it yours. You have to own up to the fact that it is mine now, and I'm going to create something around it. So whether it's I Am Special or Humpty Dumpty, make it your song, and don't be so critical. Don't put it on a pedestal either, but just use it. Let it be part of your play. I was just thinking of something about creating a song just for a child. And it could be something like this. I love you one time, love. I love you 2 times, love, love. I love you 3 times, love, love, love. I love you 100 times. I love, 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 love. And you know that it's gonna fall out just enjoying it.
That's right.
But again, it's simple. It's all you gotta do is get involved in it. You get involved in relationship with the child, and you have the music with you, and go where the music takes you to. And that's the thing that we need to remember. I'm doing it because people who loved me introduced it to me. And then what I did was, I didn't put it on a pedestal and say, because I can sing and you can't, I have to always lead the song. I remember after my recital at Carnegie Recital Hall, I'm at my father's church, and I hadn't been at the church. I hadn't been around these people for over 30-something years. And my father said, lead a song. So I finally led a song. I told him I shouldn't because I hadn't been around the church in a long time. And he says, lead it. And so I finally led the song, started singing the song. Before I could finish the first verse, he took it from me. So he took over the leadership of the song, but maybe it was his way of saying, remember, when you're here, other people are in charge of the music. You can lead the song, but you can't take over totally. Here, we share the music.
Wow.
So sometimes what happens in early childhood, we should be thinking, here we share the music. So you introduce the song to the child or to the children, and then you keep your ears open for a child coming up with a different way of singing the song. And you encourage children to continue to do that. When they see someone else do it, then they will sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Dog, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Cat, or Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Sneezer. You know, but what you're constantly doing is helping children to pay attention to the here and the now, like what's going on in your mind. And you may think this would be a funny thing to sing during the song. And the child tries it out. And that's what scientists do. Scientists come up with an idea and they will try things out. But helping to make a connection for the child, help children to know more about the world that they live in. When the child is trying to sing high like this, you know, or low like this, what they're doing is taking the voice that they know and they're trying to change that voice into a different kind of voice. That's what scientists do. They're trying to find other ways of doing something. So it's helping children to get beyond just looking at their world as they see it, but you're also introducing them to the world outside of the world that they experience.
Just as important. Yes. Yeah. Thomas, somebody's just written, long ago, my husband and I danced with Thomas when he shared The Family Likes to Jog.
Yes.
This was at an NAEYC conference and makes us chuckle when we think of it now. Great memories. And I think that's Jane Kitson.
Yes.
Yeah, you might know as Mother Goose. Yeah.
She's a great Mother Goose.
Isn't she? I talked to a tool that maybe we should have her come on and talk about all the wonderful things she's done. And someone else had said, wow, if the song has such positive, powerful words, it would help a child feel good, build their confidence and vocabulary, and have loads of fun. That will make them happy. So you're getting some very nice comments here. You see this good idea, what's going on in the mind when you change your voice and make different facial expressions. And someone's asking about the family dance. I don't know that one, Thomas.
Yes, that's one I did maybe 30 years ago. Yes.
And I guess that the family can be translated into the classroom family as well, and you could do the family dance.
Yes, yes, yeah, but because sometimes father isn't in the home, and or sometimes mother isn't in the home, and so when we think of the family, we're singing through members of the family, but again, it can be adjusted by the teacher.
Yes. Okay, so going back, maybe you're trying to avoid this, but I really would love to people just to see a little bit of the Humpty Dumpty and the important concept you were talking about, how it teaches when you're broken.
Yeah, well, my friend Pam Schiller and I wrote the book.
Love Pam.
Yes, she's a wonderful, wonderful friend, longtime friend. And what happens in the book, we get to that place where Humpty Dumpty is all broken, and the king's horses and the king's men are trying to put Humpty together. You turn the page, and there I am with glue, and I use glue to put Humpty together again. So sometimes what is happening is when something breaks, there's opportunity for us to help children think through the fact that sometimes some things that are broken can be put together, and we can do it together. We can create a way of putting it together as a group or a community of people. And sometimes what I will ask children is, how would you put Humpty together knowing that I use glue? And this one little girl, sometimes, again, I'm amazed at how much intelligence is in a room. This one little girl said, you can use tape. and then another little girl says, you can use glasses. And I said, glasses? She says, yes. If he had glasses, he wouldn't have fallen.
Oh my.
And you see, there I am trying to figure out, I got tape, okay? I got the tape thing, but I could not get the glasses thing. And I'm an intelligent person. But I am here to say that happens to teachers all the time. But a lot of times we don't have a place to talk about it. So I'm saying, let's take the time to think about how incredible it is that we are in a place where every day people are telling us something that we did not know, or we hadn't thought about it in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. But you also had said, I love that story. This is like one time I had children playing the Matarile song, and in the middle, what will you be? And this one little boy got down on the ground and started moving his leg up and down, like laying on his side like that. And I'm in Florida, and most of the kids were like alligators or dancers, firefighters. And I saw that, so I thought maybe that's what he's being. And he told me, no, I'm a stapler. Like, out of the box, get back in my box. No. But you had said too that it's also important to teach that sometimes you can't put it back together.
And sometimes you can. Yes.
And it's important for children to learn that why.
It helps children to know that in cases where things don't work out, that we can come together and celebrate the fact that it's going to be okay, that this is not the end. It just means that we weren't able to fix it this time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but we have to have faith in continuing in the continuity of things, that things we don't have to stop and it's all over. We have to have faith and confidence in the fact that we can go on, and that's some of where the teacher or the caregiver, whoever the caregiver is, this is when we use the words that are within us for the child. Children have to know how to deal with when it doesn't work out.
Very important. And a lot of people try to avoid it.
Yeah.
They only want to teach the good things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I think about is children's emotional and social and emotional development, and how it's important for them to have an understanding of their emotions and to have more access to their emotions, knowing what to do with emotions, and sometimes just having somebody who will listen to me talk about my pain. Sometimes that's important. They don't have to solve the problem for me, but the adult has opportunities to help children talk through their pain. Instead of saying, stop crying, be there with the child as the child cries. And allow the child, just give that space of safety so that the child can work through those emotions. The song I Am Special Just Because I'm Me, when I wrote the song and I was getting ready to record it the day before, I went to my mirror in my bathroom and I sang the song, and I looked into my eyes and I cried because I had never said, Thomas, you're special.
Aw,
And so,
Thomas, you are special.
Thank you. Thank you. But I encourage teachers, these songs that you sing with children, I encourage you to really sing them with the children, and be there with the song. Don't just take it and say, oh, this is a song for children. But this is a song for you too. You know, we need to energize ourselves. We need to be more active with this whole idea of this is a great profession. We have to know that. And when you sing, you have to accept your voice.
That's right.
And when children are singing too, what we do is we don't just focus on the fact that this child has a better voice than that child. But what we do is we allow children to use the voices that they have.
Exactly, and that's so important. Someone saying, like you said, often children teach us how to pick up the pieces and go on.
Yes.
And I'm guessing this is probably Jane who wants to know, and I know we're like at the end of our time, and Jane wants to know if you have time to sing the Corn on the Cob song. What?
Yeah. There's nothing I like better than corn on the cob, corn on the cob, corn on the cob. There's nothing I like better than corn on the cob, corn on the cob for me. I like potatoes with corn on the cob. Yeehaw. Corn on the cob.
Yeehaw.
Corn on the cob.
Yeah.
I like potatoes with corn on the cob. Corn on the cob for me.
Woohoo! All righty. So, you see, 2020 has taught us so much, and we as educators, facilitators, have a new understanding of learning, survival, and happiness. And we must ensure our little children get the best learning once we get to meet with them again soon. So, for closing, I'd like you to share, if you could say one thing that everyone watching could do that could change the life of a child. What can we do that can change the life of a child?
Well, I will go back to that love thing that I created just in the moment. That not only sing the song, but to let children see in your face. Allow the energy within you that is about loving and caring to come forth, and let that be your driving force in the song. And the thing that I think about is the fact that by saying love, 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 you know, whether it's an infant or a toddler, you'll find that the child will respond to the word love.
Mm-hmm.
What you're doing with it is you are bringing it to a place where it goes to that special creative part of who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And then it is evolving into something bigger, because now it's in the child. It's available for the child to play around with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I say love one time, say love two times, say love three times. I'm introducing a mathematical concept, but I'm getting that word love in more and more and more. And what children are losing a lot of is because the world is going through so much. So people are thinking about safety so much that they are forgetting that love helps provide safety in a way that it goes beyond
Yes.
all of the unsafe stuff that's going on.
Yes, so important. And I absolutely do not want this conversation to end. And you know, someone is saying, please sing one more song. I have no idea what that would be, but I do want, before we do that, to take it out, is to say that, you know, props to Dr. Jan McCarthy, because it is because of her guidance. You know, I'm sure we may have found our way, but she made our eyes more open, and taught us how to use our tools. And I know a couple of other people watching have also worked with her. And what a wonderful influence. And got you and I to be friends. And
Oh, yes.
so special to me. And so I don't know if what comes to the top of your mind for a Take It Out song for everyone to sing along with us. They say they're enjoying it. Or we can, I know you're going to make up something. You're not going to do Humpty Dumpty. You're going to make something up right now. I can see it in your face. And if you weren't going to, now I put you on the spot.
Well, let's do this then. In order, in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King,
okay,
and all the people who around the world who work at bringing people together.
Okay.
This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine.
Let it shine.
This little light of mine,
little light,
I'm going to let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Yeah, shine. Everybody else, keep shining on. Dr. Moore has given us some wonderful things to think about, things to do, but I think today's most important word was love. Thank you.
And thank you.
You're welcome. And please check the link at the end so that you can download one of the songs for free. I'll be putting that up as soon as I'm finished here. So Atul, it's back to you. And thank you so much. Please share this with your friends. There's a lot of important stuff in here. Bye.